Welcome to Whiskey's Journey. My name is Peter Faciano, and you guys are watching a new channel segment that is a new Monday series, and it's going to be all about rye whiskeys for the next 10 weeks. So if you're into rye whiskeys, like, subscribe, share, do all those things that YouTubers ask you to do. And today we are specifically looking at Bulleit 95 Rye. Let's go ahead and pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it, and then at the end, if you're sticking around, I'm going to give it a score. Now, I would do a cork pop, but Bulleit has the worst corks in the world. They just do that. That's about it. So let's get this thing poured and talked about. So Bulleit 95 Rye Frontier Whiskey. This is coming in at a 90 proof, 45% ABV. It's a non-age stated rye whiskey. I got to catch myself because it's not a bourbon. It's a straight American rye whiskey. This has a mash bill of 95% rye and 5% malted barley. Bulleit sources this from Ross and Squibb, formerly MGP, and it's bottled by Bulleit Distilling Company, and that's in Louisville, Kentucky. This is a 750 milliliter bottle, and in Arizona, I picked this up for $25.99. On the nose, I get spice, floral, mint, and almost a tea essence here. Very herbal. And I have to be honest, I am not the biggest rye person at all. So these next 10 weeks are going to be a little bit challenging for me, and hopefully, maybe I will turn towards the rye side by the end of it. We'll see. If I'm going to have to pick a dominant note on the nose, it's going to be mint, followed by some spice and floral herbal. Let's go ahead and taste it. Just taking a look at the legs here. Let's go ahead and taste it and see what we have. Yeah, everything that is on the nose is also coming through on the palate, with the exception of this is coming across pretty sweet. I still get the minty, herbal, tea, and floral notes. They're all on the palate. The 45% ABV, this is an easy sipping rye whiskey. And on that first sip, it doesn't seem to be a very long finish. So let's get that second sip down, because you can never trust that first sip, and see if anything changes, or see if I can pull anything else out of it. Mint, the spice is peppery, and just like every single whiskey in the world, on that second sip, I end up getting that extra tannin barrel note on the side of my tongue. The development or the arrival and all the way to the finish is pretty consistent with that minty herbal note. To me right now, nothing in the glass is going to wow me. This is not very challenging. It's a crushable whiskey, that's for sure. If you like minty sweet, this would be something right up your alley. Let's get that third sip down, concentrate on the finish, see if I can pull anything out of it. And just like always, I'm going to add water to this and see if it changes the profile at all. Nothing's changed whatsoever. It is consistent from that first, second, and third sip. A little bit more of the oaky barrel notes in there on that second sip, but the overall profile has stayed the same. Put a little bit of water in here just for the heck of it and see if anything changes. I'm not necessarily anticipating water's going to do anything to this. Based on the initial profile, I would imagine that water might bring out a little bit more spice. That just seems to be something that I've noticed in all of the whiskeys. Since this channel is all about being whiskey promiscuous, I kind of want to be consistent with everything that I'm doing. So on these Monday series, I want to make sure that I add water. I was toying around with the idea of actually making a cocktail with all of these rye whiskeys. If that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'm going to keep adding water to it. Let this sit there and do its thing. And let's talk a little bit about whiskey in general. So under the umbrella of whiskey, we have a whole bunch of different main categories and a little bit of some subcategories. I'm going to focus in on the main ones. Main categories of whiskey are your bourbons, your ryes, and your wheated. The new kid on the block, or the up and coming one, at least in America or the United States, is malt. And then we also can't forget about the corn whiskey as well. So what makes each one of those categories a specific category? According to the regulations, in order for a bourbon to be a bourbon, it has to be made from at least 51% corn, and then the other cereal grains could be anything else. Same thing with rye. In order for it to be classified as a rye whiskey, it needs to be 51%, at least 51% rye. Same thing with wheat, same thing with malted barley. I do have a couple of expressions of Bulleit, but I believe this one is the only one that they're actually sourcing from Ross and Squibb. Everything else, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, I believe Bulleit is actually producing their own distillate to make their own whiskeys, with the exception of the Bulleit 95 Rye Frontier Whiskey. Is that the whole name of this whiskey, or do you guys just say Bulleit 95 or just Bulleit Rye? Now that the water's done its thing, let's go ahead and get it on the palate, nose it a little bit more, and see if anything's changed. Well, the profile has changed on the nose. Now I'm getting more of a sweet note. The sweet would be more of a vanilla or a honey, followed by the mint, the floral, and that peppery spice. To tell you the truth, it might be the mint that turns me off to rye whiskeys. So on the nose right now, with this being more on the sweet side and the mint has taken a back seat, I'm actually preferring the nose on this with the water. But you're not gonna nose it the entire time. We have to taste it. So let's see if the water did anything to the profile on the palate. Just like I thought, that pepper note has now enhanced with the water. And it has been a long time since I've said this, so the reason why you want to add water, or you might want to add water, it's your whiskey, you can do whatever you want with it. But whiskey has water-soluble particles and non-water-soluble particles, so when you put the water in there, it'll separate the components, and a lot of the non-water-soluble particles might be that spicy note that I'm getting in here, so those will lift up to the surface. That's what you initially get. So the water will change the profile. Sorry, the water could change the profile based on the whiskey that you're drinking. So, like always, drink the whiskey the way that you want. And if you feel like experimenting a little bit with water or ice or putting it into a cocktail, go ahead and do it. No, nobody should give you a hard time drinking the whiskey the way that you like to drink it. All right, now that peppery note is gone, the finish is pretty much gone. I would say with and without the water, it's a short to a medium finish. Let's get one last sip in here, and then let's go ahead and go on to the scoring system. On that last sip, as I'm breathing in, this has happened to me a couple of times. When you're breathing in right before you're ready to take a sip, I get hit with a different note sometimes. And on that one, I got mint chocolate, which was pretty good. On the palate, the peppery note came through. Everything stays the same. Short to medium finish, nothing to get excited about, but also nothing terrible. So my scoring system is out of 5 stars. Since this is my first rye in my Monday series, I'm typically going to base everything off of my first offering. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 5 stars. It's nothing to get excited about. It's not bad, it's crushable. The flavors are good. If you like mint, herbal, pepper, a little bit of spice, I think you might like this. And again, my disclaimer is I'm not the biggest rye fan, so based on what I'm getting on this, I'm gonna base every single thing from this point forward, rye-wise, on this one. And it's a good solid 3. What do you guys think about Bulleit Rye? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to this channel and you're not subscribed to the channel and you like this information, subscribe to the channel, give me a like. Turn on that bell notification. I'm publishing videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if that bell notification's on, you'll be notified when a video is published. I don't really have anything more to say about this, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And like always, enjoy your journey, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Yeah, not a bad start. I think I'm going to maybe enjoy this series.